Okay, so today I'm going to begin a conversation about healing the male and female, the relationship between the inner male and female. This is one of the most important things that we could possibly do within ourselves. It's actually kind of the biggest obstacle is healing the relationship between male and female, between mind and feeling, between will and intuition, between the left and right hemispheres of the brain, the brain and the heart, right? We want to create coherence and cooperation between all of these aspects of ourselves. And, everything I speak to is about bringing these things into harmony and communication. And so people are requesting that I speak about Kundalini, which is, in the first video that I posted explaining my experience, it's the most interesting, phenomenal aspect or thing that I've mentioned probably, but actually every single thing that I talk about is about making space and availability so that the Kundalini can rise up the central channel, right? It's about healing, the male and the female energy, in that image of Kundalini, it goes like this. And everywhere where it intersects is where they have a relationship, which is in the chakras. So when I talk about how to address the content, the emotional and psychological content in the chakras, and then how to heal it, it's creating like space for the energy to rise. Also creating space for the descent of spirit to complete its journey and manifest into the world. So everything I speak to is about Kundalini, is about awakening, is about ascension, is about harmonizing the male and the female. That's why I put a lot of emphasis on not only like observation, this very male teaching about just observation, but also, put an equal emphasis on feeling. So today I'm going to begin the conversation about male-female. I'm going to help you recognize what unconscious female energy looks like. And I'm a really good teacher of this because I went through a journey of healing these things in me. And what I found in my own mind was that both the unconscious female and the unconscious male, not only were they not communicating with each other, but they were both in extreme states of unconsciousness. And a clue that may clue you into the state of your male and female energy is the relationship between your mother and father, and the qualities of your mother and the qualities of your father, right? This may or may not be a pretty good mirror of the state of the energy of the male and the female within you. So what does unconscious female energy look like? Unconscious female energy, the main ways that it manifests are manipulation, seduction, right? And when I say manipulation, it's that old tale about the way the murderess, right? How does she murder? Like she slips some arsenic in there, right? She's sneaky. She's not like the axe murderer usually, right? She slips that arsenic in there. She's sneaky. She goes behind the back, right? Manipulation takes many forms. Another main form of unconscious female energy is seduction. And seduction is not always overtly sexual, although sexual teasing is a very unconscious energy that we use to control people in our lives. And of course, right, remember, as I say all these things, all of these unconscious pieces, they are animated from a core belief that they are separate from God, therefore separate from safety, therefore separate from resources, and so they're in survival mode, right? So we have compassion for these pieces, but also we want to be aware of them, right? So what does seduction look like? Seduction can look like being weak. Seduction can look like overwhelm. Oh, I'm so overwhelmed, I can't handle it. I'm so sensitive. That's unconscious female energy. I'm gonna act it out. I think it's helpful to personify it, right? How about indecisiveness? I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, I don't know mine. That's a good spiritual teaching. I don't know. I just don't know anything. I don't know what's good for me. I really don't know. That's unconscious female energy. The unconscious female is kind of like this dominatrix that keeps you in low energy. Indecisiveness, confusion, right? I don't know. That's unconscious female energy. Okay, it's really helpful to be able to see this clearly so that you can see it in yourself, right? So the unconscious female is kind of like this dominatrix that's seducing us into low energy states. So seduction, right? It's not only sexual seduction, it's right. How can manipulation, how can confusion and indecisiveness and overwhelm be seduction? Well, if I'm always confused, if I'm always overwhelmed, and if I'm always indecisive, then I'm going to need somebody to do everything for me, right? If I'm always clueless, I never have to take action. If I'm always confused, I never have to move forward, right? And moving forward is part of our healthy male energy. So, right, this unconscious female, if we want to personify her, she's trying to keep us in low energy because that's the way she believes she will stay powerful, right? If I stay confused, if I stay indecisive, if I stay sick, right, the unconscious female can create sickness in our bodies, right? And I know this from experience. Sickness can be a seduction because if I don't believe that I am powerful, if I believe that power is outside of me, then I will source it outside of me. And the unconscious female will source power in sometimes violent ways. So that can look like, right, creating illness in the body. Creating illness in the body, like, okay, well, I'm completely powerless, and I know that that male or that human has a warrior complex or a savior complex, so I'm going to play on that. I'm going to tug on that, and I'm going to have him come to my rescue. The damsel in distress, right, is another unconscious female energy. Damsel in distress, oh, I'm helpless, I don't know what to do, right? Come to my rescue. This is unconscious female energy. So seduction takes many forms. Seduction, another part of seduction is the seduction of sadness, the seduction of nostalgia, the seduction of remaining in low energy, right? So are you tempted to play that sad song that reminds you of your really unpleasant relationship? Are you tempted to watch a sad movie? Are you tempted to watch things that make you sick inside? This is the unconscious female roping you into low energy states. When I say low energy states, I mean anything besides clarity, joy, and peace, right? We have like literal parts of ourselves seducing us to go back there. Oh, seducing us into disassociation, seducing us into numbing. If you were to personify unconscious female energy, a lot of times she would look like kind of like, oh, she's out to lunch smoking a cigarette. Her attitude about life is like, fuck it, nothing matters. Like, I'm just gonna check out, right? Nobody listens to me anyway, right? And what can this look like in your personality? Like, if you get these feelings and intuitions, if you know things and you never act on what you know, then you're basically saying to the female, like, you don't matter to me at all. You don't matter to me at all. Oh, I have an intuition of what my cells are craving right now, what I would like to eat, or that I would like to go on a soothing walk this morning instead of lifting weights. Every time you ignore her, it's like she's being rejected. She's being rejected, so she's just gonna check out and say, fuck it, I'll just check out and I'll be addicted to something, whether it's negative emotion, whether it's abusive relationships, right? We wonder why we attract like all these hard cases that need healing, right? People that are very broken inside, that hurt and abuse us. If you very often invite into your life people that hurt you and abuse you, it's because you're doing it to yourself. It's because you're doing it to yourself. This unconscious female in us has an addiction to addiction. An addiction, it's a glutton for punishment. It's a glutton for being sad. And so, of course, the root cause of all of these iterations of unconscious female energy is a lack of awareness that I am whole. I don't know I'm divine. I don't know I'm whole. And so, therefore, in order for me to control and get what I want, I'm going to be a seductress. I'm going to be manipulative. I'm going to lie. I'm going to steal, I'm going to cheat, and which is also an aspect of unconscious male energy, right? I'll step on whoever I need to step on as long as I get what I want. Unconscious male energy has a lot to do with the lack of awareness of the whole, right? I'll do whatever it takes. I don't care what anybody else feels. I don't care how I affect anything. It's a lack of awareness of the whole system, the whole being. But in order to heal the unconscious female, like, we must practice feeling whole. We must hold in our conscious awareness, like, I am loving awareness. I'm safe, right? I am not only loving awareness, but infinite intelligence. And because I am infinite intelligence, I don't need to source protection, power, status. I don't need to source anything outside of myself, right? And these parts of ourselves that feel truly helpless, feel like invalids. They will often source their power in very, very violent ways. So, right, the unconscious female, in a nutshell, she's a seductress. She seduces by attracting power that she believes is outside of her. So if I act weak, if I'm a damsel in distress, if I create illness in my life, I will need everybody to come to my rescue, right? This is like the only way the mind believes that it can get what it wants. The only way that I will get what I want, the rest that I need, the only way that I will get my needs met is if I'm a victim, right? This is like one of the most intense iterations of the unconscious female. If I remain a victim, I will get what I want. I will get what I want. I will get that person to take care of me, or the parent or the partner or whatever. I will be taken care of because I will be so needy that people will have to rescue me, right? I'll play on their guilt. That's another part of seduction and manipulation. I want to emphasize as well, like, this thing about confusion, indecisiveness, and overwhelm. Confusion, indecisiveness, and overwhelm. That is unconscious female energy, and it's really useful to know that, because so many people that I know, and I'm speaking from experience, right? Especially if they're empathic, and especially if they heavily identify with the fact that they're empathic, they're like, oh God, I'm just completely overwhelmed. There's too much energy. There's too much in my environment. That is a state of being that is a trickster energy. And if you think about what's the payoff of remaining confused, indecisive, and overwhelmed, it's like, well, I never have to take action. I never have to move forward. I don't have to have responsibility. So what's the medicine for that? I've talked a lot about practicing the frequency of stability, right? One of the healthy male qualities, and one of the ways that the female starts to feel safe to express her sensuality, her joy, her creativity, is that the internal female is there, the internal male is there for her. And one of those qualities is stability. So if I can practice the feeling of stability, which in practice, right, that's about feeling the central channel, right? If all of our awareness is in the environment, we're going to feel chaotic. And that's the unconscious female keeping us in chaos, right? The unconscious male might keep us tyrannical, might keep us hard and cold and aggressive, and nose to the grindstone, and no joy in life, no feeling, leading from a mental idea of power, not a heart-centered idea of power. The female keeps us in chaos, not focused. So the medicine for the female, right, to help the female come into her higher qualities of the nurturer, of intuition, of beauty and creativity and softness and allowing, is that you cultivate the quality of stability within yourself. That is a sacred, that is a divine male quality. Structure, stillness, observation, stability, right? And to literally somatically cultivate the quality of stability within you, it will start to Like, because if you're sourcing your own stability, right, the unconscious female won't reach out her tentacles and try to get stability from the outside, from a partner, from status, from an image of herself, from anything outside, because we're giving her the medicine she needs, which is stability, right? So if she feels safe that, oh yes, we have stability, there's stability here. And what happens is that she's free to be creative. She's no longer wasting her energy keeping you in chaos, trying to source her needs from outside of herself. So part of the way that we learn, that we literally walk the truth that everything is inside of us, is we learn how to cultivate the qualities. We realize that we have the option to create and to build and to strengthen these qualities within us, and stability is huge. Stability is huge for the unconscious female, right? So if you are a person who feels a lot of overwhelm in your life, whether you're a man or a woman, we all have unconscious male and female energies, whether you're a biological male or a biological female, or not identified with either, with a gender or whatever. We all have these energies. So stability is medicine for the unconscious female. Love is medicine for everything, right? We are starved of love, and so we seek outside of ourselves the essence of what we want. And so to have compassion, right, we become seductresses because we are violated when we're children. You know, a lot of us have experienced like sexual violation or at very young ages. Of course you become a seductress. Of course you become a manipulator, because you have to. Because in your mind, that's the only option that you have. The only option that I have is to control men, to control the environment that I'm in, sometimes in very subtle, sneaky ways that maybe I'll get into more on another day. So we have compassion for this, right? We don't judge this. We don't make ourselves wrong. We have love. It's like all of these unconscious pieces are children who lost touch with their innocence. And so when we reconnect with our divinity, with our heart, we bring them back into the source. We draw them back into our hearts, and we remind them, like, no, like, I don't have to seduce or tease or become ill or put myself in low energy to get what I want. That's not who I am. What I am is infinite intelligence. What I am is the Godhead expressing into form. That is what I am. And to remind yourself of this constantly, right? Saint Germain said, like, when you declare, I am, constantly, right, it starts to pulse within you. It starts to penetrate all the layers of your mind. So you must hold in your mind, you must have a conscious awareness of your divinity and your wholeness. That is the answer to the question, to every iteration of the question, how do I heal this part of my mind, is to be consciously aware of your wholeness. So I hope I've illuminated some of the unconscious female energies, the seductress, the manipulator, some of the ways that can show up. Sometimes just seeing it clearly can help you snap out of it. Another one, right, that's one that was really strong for me, was disassociation. And disassociation, right, if you think about disassociation, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna check out, guys. Peace out, right? And sometimes a spiritual teaching, like observing, right, it keeps you disconnected from feeling your emotions, where all the alchemy happens. You can't, nothing will change in your life. You will repeat the same patterns over and over, the same destruction, the same chaos, the same abuse, until you touch the parts of yourself in a feeling way, especially below the diaphragm, in your heart as well, until you feel those parts of yourself, and with love, until you become aware of the constructs that create those energies, and you transmute them with love. So that's the beginning of the conversation about male-female, and I'll talk to you again soon about the male.